Hi guys. I don't understand why YouTube would decide to put something on the screen while I'm already live. But that's what they do. Um so I just want to read this really quickly before anybody jumps on. Why the hell would they put that while the readings happen? I mean, while I'm on live. YouTube makes literally no sense. They're really starting to get on my fucking nerves. But anyway, um, hi guys. Yeah, just a lot of weirdness has happened in a matter of about the past 10 minutes or so. Right when I was about to start, literally, like I was about to hit the live button, and then boom, weird stuff just started happening all at one time. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just restart my phone, and 11:11 as I or 1:11 as I said that. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like not even like in a bad mood or anything. I'm actually in a decent mood today. Um, and I try to be in a decent mood whenever I go live. Also, God, my fucking hair. I mean, it's not my hair showing, but like underneath this thing looks a mess. So like. Oh, goodness gracious. Like, it's all crooked. And I looked at myself before I freaking started. I don't know what the heck happened in a matter of a few minutes. I really don't. But anyway, let me shut the hell up. Stop being vain. It's bright behind me, which is interesting because usually it's dark. Daylight savings time kind of thing makes a difference. And so I guess when I'm sitting here, I gotta keep that in mind because I don't know if that affects the lighting or not. But matter of fact, let me turn this up a little bit. Then maybe balance that light out. I don't know. I don't know if it made a difference or not, but yeah. Nonetheless, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I've been talking for over 2 minutes already. Y'all probably like, okay, I'm gonna sign off. Don't do that yet, though, guys. I promise. There's gonna be some cool stuff. Don't mind the green nail slash green fingertips. I was doing painting at work with my students, and when they say it's washable, it's a lie. Um, it takes forever for that stuff to wash off. So yeah, I washed my hands several times today and still pretty green. But yeah, with all that said, yeah, so you guys are here obviously for a reason. I, put in the caption that this is going to be messages from your spirit guides, divine messages that will help you, right now, at this time on your path. Um, to kind of see where you are, what you need to know, what you could be doing to, kind of, make things a little bit better for yourself and things like that. And to work on your growth and things of that nature. So, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the beautiful weather. I mean, everybody's weather's gonna be different depending on where you live. I'm here in the tri-state area, so I'm like, Connecticut, New York border, and the weather is absolutely gorgeous. I almost wanted to do my reading outside, but there's a little park like literally like half a block away from me, and that little park, I think they took out all of the benches because there were too many people like loitering over there. So or not the benches, but like the tables and stuff. So like I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna check it out though just to see, because that would be nice. Because like the other park is like more like a little bit more further away, and you have to have a permit and stuff to park. And I'm like, but anyway, been talking long enough. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to see if people are gonna join in. I don't know how my Fitbit on. I think it's like 6:20ish maybe. Um, I was hoping that by now people would have been signing on because that's usually what time I sign on to here. But maybe people are enjoying the beautiful weather and they're not worried about YouTube right now. So, all right. So, without further ado, we're gonna get these messages out. I've already closed the space. Looks like the guides have a lot to say at this time. Um, none of the cards flipped, so I'm not gonna accept any of the ones that just fell. Spirit, ancestors, spirit guides, so on and so forth. what messages do you have for the collective at this time for their highest good? What do they need to know in order to, kind of work on where they are in this part of their journey? Any particular messages for them at this time? Things that might be holding them back, or things that they could be doing differently, so on and so forth. What do they need to know? Here's some most accurate messages. Thank you. We have Thoth. Divine magic. The teacher awakens, the student becomes the master. So I feel like you guys have been through a lot of stuff. You've learned a lot of lessons, a lot of hard lessons at that. And you guys are just kind of, trying to put all the pieces together. And that could be why I was drawn to do this message today. Because, you know, with me, like, I don't necessarily like to plan out readings. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I like to kind of let them naturally happen. Like, I'll, like, wake up one day and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do this type of reading. And, pardon me, as I get in touch with spirit guides, I'm going to drink a spirit. But yeah, so, like, essentially, I kind of decide how I'm going to do a reading based on how I'm feeling sometimes. Like, being that I'm an empath, there's days where, like, I'll feel an energy and I'm like, I want to channel in and hone in on that. Like, if it's a love reading, for instance, I'm not dating at all. I haven't had a date at all in 2 years. So, um, those messages are clearly not for me, right? But then there's the ones that are, like, I could feel like there's like an ancestor kind of present or things like that. It just depends, on the day. But sometimes I like try to, like, plan it out in a way where I'm not trying to do the same thing over and over and over. It gets redundant, right? So, excuse me, it just depends. So with that said, I try to mix it up a little bit and do different things, but at the same time, I also follow where I'm being led. So I kind of let my guides kind of do the talking, or your guides through me do the talking, and I look at my cards and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull from here, here, and here, and then I'm like, that's the message. So I definitely was drawn to do this divine messages reading, just to kind of see what y'all need to know at this time. All right, so what does the collective need to know? Clearest and most accurate messages. Really wish there were people here right now, but it's okay. All right, so we have, I'm going to take this one and this one. Pardon me, I'm also not feeling that great, but I'm here. So we have Lady Nada, expanded heart, openness, liberation, let yourself love and be loved. Interesting. And it came out with Hathor light activation, acceleration, brilliance, stand in your light. So I'm feeling like some people that, who do end up watching, I feel like some of you guys have, I'm getting like for some of you guys who end up watching, your heart chakra, and this has been a message for a little bit now, that heart chakra might need a little bit of work, or you've been working on it. Meaning that, you might have a hard time receiving love or giving love, and it could be both, depending on your circumstances. And it could have to do with the fact that you've been through a lot when it comes to, that whole, like, sense of receptivity, right? That equal give and take within relationships. It makes it very difficult when you've been, treated like crap, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna put myself out there. Fuck that shit. You know what I mean? So, they're almost kind of saying, like, allow yourself to welcome love back in, because you are a lovable person. And I just saw 919 on the timer. Um, yeah. And ironically, that's about the ending of cycles, right? 9 is ending of cycles, and then we got 1 and 9 as 10. So, yeah, the ending and a new cycle beginning. So, for some of you, this could be love related. We'll dive deeper and see. And with that Hathor light activation card, acceleration, brilliance, standing your light. Allowing yourself to, move past, that energy of feeling closed off when it comes to love, right? And when we say love, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be just in general. You guys might be the type where, and I could, I can definitely resonate here. Where just in general, when you care about people, right, you put yourself out there a lot for them, and then it's one of those kind of situations where it's like you'll jump in the fucking ocean for somebody and they won't even jump in a little ass puddle for you, you know. I'm getting kind of that energy, and it's frustrating, right? It's like, okay, so I put my energy and self out for a person who doesn't do anything for me. So it's like, they're basically saying it's time to kind of, look past those situations, understand that, yes, you might have experienced that, but it's now time to kind of, come into your own and see and realize that there is more here than just that. Um, so there's a little bit of acceptance coming through. There's a little bit of self-acceptance also. And just embracing it and acknowledging who you are. We have Kathumi here, initiatory experience. Your current situation is initiating your gifts. For some of you, take it as it resonates. I feel like this is kind of specific. I just saw 11:11 on the time when I looked up. For some, sorry. For some of you, I'm getting that maybe it was like I said, it's very, very particular for somebody, or a couple of people here and there that might watch this. The sense of going through like the heartbreaks and the pain and all that. This might have been the thing that needed to happen in order for you to kind of hone in on your spiritual gifts. Take that as it resonates, because that could be just for specific people. But it makes sense to me. Vouching and speaking for myself, I can say that that's kind of how I learned of my spiritual gifts. Like, I had them even when I was a kid, but I didn't know that's what they were. So I didn't like channel them. I didn't use them. So, perhaps for some of you, going through what you've been through and working on your healing process is what needed to happen in order for you to kind of come into some of the gifts that you do happen to have. Take that as it resonates. That's not going to be for everybody. So we got 2 cards. We have Horus, manifestation vortex. Belief makes manifest, thoughts attract and create. So keep in mind that your thoughts, right? There's a lot of power behind your thoughts, the things that you're thinking, when it comes to manifesting. The more positive thoughts that you have, the more positive results you'll yield, is what I'm kind of getting from that. And it came out along with the blue beings, light transmission. There we go. Confirmation. Wounds healed, important information charging up. So remember, I was saying for some of you, you went through like a heartbreak and things like that, because those cards did come out together. And you basically had to kind of come into this sense of, okay, well, I went through what I went through. Now what do I do with this information? You took that information and you did something with it, and you kind of stepped into your light self. And by stepping into your light self, you're welcoming in these gifts that are coming through. And not only are you welcoming in these gifts, but it's also helping you on your healing journey. So it's all connected, and it allows you to start to work on your manifestations as well. Tell us more. Let's get like 1 or 2 more from this deck. For those who end up watching, please like, share, and subscribe. For those who are in the chat currently, send some reactions so I could connect with your energy. That's always helpful. What do we have here? Paul, the Venetian, gifted one. Revealed headed. Look at that. Another card about like revealing these new gifts and talents and stuff that you might not have even knew existed, or like you knew about them, but maybe you questioned it. And I spoke about that just a second ago. Revealing hidden talents, opportunities to shine. So it's this energy of people who, a lot of those who end up watching this. And I know this one is going to probably not resonate with everybody. I know how that goes. I did see 141 on the timer when I happened to look up. But, it's one of those kind of things where it's like, for some of you, you might have had like these spiritual gifts and stuff that were there, and you're like, what the hell is this? Or people like made you feel weird about even like tapping into it, whatever the case may have been, right? And I'm not taking all of those, and they fell in my lap for a reason. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those kind of things where it's like, things had to happen a certain way so that you can actually tap into those energies within yourself, so that now you can utilize them the way that they're meant to be utilized, if that makes any sense. Let's get one more from this deck. We have I seen this card? Yeah, I've seen it. Not that many times though. So I'm picking up on possibly some newer energy. Um, Hanuman, I think is how you say it. Throat chakra. Sorry. Hanuman, devoted warrior. Let God's love hold you in strength. Interesting. Let God's love hold you in strength. I'm getting this sense of, kind of continuing to stay very strong and resilient, right? Don't lose your faith. The more faith that you have in whatever your higher power happens to be, because it's going to be different people, right? Different situations, different beings or entities that you gravitate towards. I'm getting the sense of the more faith that you have within yourself is the more faith you have in that higher power that you happen to believe in, is the more that you're going to be able to stand in your strength. Sometimes, when we're going through stuff, our strength is tested, or our resilience is tested, our faith is tested. And I'm getting the sense of the more you, how can I put it? The more that you have that faith that things are okay, the more faith you have in the divine, whatever you believe in, whatever you believe in. Please take that part as it resonates, because I know everybody has different faiths. It's going to help when it comes to you having your sense of strength when it comes to this, because for those of you who are just now tuning in, there's this sense of, after a period of like heartbreaks and pain, disappointments, a lot of people just hurting you, this sense of working on that healing process in order to manifest and also become more in tune with the gifts that you happen to have naturally that you don't even realize are there. There's things that are being revealed about yourself that you don't even realize are there as well. And now you're, by remaining strong and diligent in all the stuff that you've been through, it's allowing for these new things to come in. So hopefully that's resonating with somebody. We have Sanat Kumara here on the bottom of the deck. Open channel, signs, codes, downloads, and sacred information. So you're receiving a lot of important information at this time when it comes to, what you're meant to be doing at this time. What it is that, not just what you're meant to be doing, but also like understanding a little bit more about the things going on around you. Sometimes, when things happen, if we're not quite, in tuned with it, we're just questioning it all the time. And I think they're trying to say there's always a lesson for everything. There's always a reason for everything that's happening. So just pay attention to those things, because, I would say even like your dreams or numbers, if you believe in numerology, license plates. I see stuff on license plates all the time. Billboards, songs that come on the radio or that just happen to pop up on a playlist that you haven't heard of forever. There's signs and synchronicities in those messages. Top of the deck here we have Violet Flame, or let me rewind a little bit. Saint Germain, Violet Flame, Alchemy, and I was talking about alchemizing a little while ago and transmuting. Release the old, make way for the new. So this is a time of alchemizing, right? We're taking those old past experiences and that old energy and doing something positive with it. That middle card, we have Thoth again. It was the first card we saw in the bottom of the deck before, so we're coming back full circle right now. The teacher awakens, the student becomes the master. So again, these teachable moments that have happened in your life that, you know, might have resurfaced a few times in your lifetime and things like that. They're coming back, but they're coming back in a way that are allowing you to do something with them, something positive, a way to, again, transmute and manifest that energy into something positive. Yeah. So for those of you who happen to watch my channel, sometimes I drink a little nippy nip or whatever while I read, you know. Hopefully that's not offensive to anybody, but you know, I do that from time to time. I'm grown. I'm almost 40. I can do what I want. Um, but yes. So I'm gonna pick up on some more messages, and then we'll look into some tarot as well. So I did just see manifestation here in this deck. What else does the collective need to know at this time? Clearest and most accurate messages. What do they need to know? All right, there we go. So I'm not gonna butcher up this. Excuse me. I'm not gonna butcher up this goddess's name. Inoko Kazana. I'm gonna try it. Okay, Inoko Kazana. I'm probably saying that so wrong. But the card means celestial alignment. Beautiful card. Whether I can say the name or not is besides the point. Sorry guys, I think I'm getting bronchitis again. I work with kids at my main job, and they're always sick all the time. Actually, we only had, of the 4 kids I have in my class, we only had 2 of them. I had to sub in another room because they needed help. So there's definitely something going around in my building again. It just happens all the time. But yeah. What else does the collective need to know? Alright, we got feeling safe. It's in the reverse. So I feel like some of you guys have been having a hard time with that sense of feeling safe. And when I see that sense of feeling safe, I'm also getting the sense of not being grounded, being that it's in the reverse. So you might need to, and I mean, now that the weather is breaking, and it's ironic because like the picture that ended up, I used Canva to make my my thumbnail, and now they have like this AI thing, and I was like, oh, I typed in what I wanted, and then something really pretty showed up. I was like, wow, that looks really nice. And if you really were to look at like what I posted for the thumbnail in this picture, minus the person, is very similar, right? It's like these trees, these flowers and stuff. Now that the weather is breaking, you know, for pretty much all of us, you know, whether you live in a colder climate or not, most of us are experiencing warmer weather. It's like today was in the, I think, the 50s or high 40s here in Connecticut. Sorry. And yeah, so point being, you know, this is a time to be able to spend more time outdoors and get grounded. You know, take your shoes off if you feel comfortable doing that kind of thing. Spend time near water. Hug a tree. As crazy as that sounds, it's true. Like, you know, all that stuff when it comes to the nature stuff, like it all, I'm not taking all these cards. It definitely is all, you know, helpful. And yeah, so like I said, I dropped a bunch of cards. I'm not taking all of those, but what else does the collective need to know? So like I said, that sense of feeling safe, it might be that root chakra that might need a little bit of work if you believe in that kind of thing. So like I said, spending time outdoors could be very helpful at this time. Etheric cords, Irzuli Dantor. There might be some cords that need to be cut. Number is 27 on the card, comes out to be 9. So I'm getting, again, that ending of old chapters. And I mean, I mentioned it when I looked up at the time earlier at some point. And I had said something about how I was picking up on the sense of closure, the sense of ending old cycles to begin new ones. So that's giving me that energy again. You know, but there's things that need to be cut out. Tell us more. storms. I 13 is on the is the number on the card. So like this major sense of, again, right, these endings that brought on, you know, new beginnings, or about to bring on new beginnings. And there was a lot that happened during these times. This is like a major transitional and transformative period for a lot of you guys who end up watching this. So, you know, in the midst of the storm, literally, like I just heard eye of the storm, like in the midst of the storm, you guys, you see the light at the end of that tunnel. And it's like, as hard as it might be sometimes to get there, they're letting you know, oh, this is a part of the rebirth process for y'all. As crazy as it is, all of it is, right? Like nobody wants to go through all that, but they're letting you know that it will be fine. If you've been worrying about like what's gonna come next, we do have I'm gonna try to say a name, Ayazan, miracles. So there's miracles coming through, right? You're manifesting this stuff, and it's giving me like the fruit of your labor is going to start to come together, right? Because we do have manifestation here again. And we're seeing that number 9 here again too. So it's giving me that sense of, despite the fact that, you know, there was like a lot of stuff that had to happen, a lot of stuff that you had to sever ties with, and, you know, you had to work on getting grounded, you had to do that inner work. I feel like your spirit guides are letting you know, like, the things that you've been wanting and you've been manifesting are about to start to come together. And there we go, confirmation. So we do have this harvest card. So it's giving that energy again of this sense of there's things coming in, right? And you know, people are gonna look at you and be like, damn, how the fuck did they do that? Like it was like a miracle happened. Like people are gonna look at you like you're the miracle worker, you know. And for some of you, you might be just that. But yeah, I'm getting this essence and this energy of people who have sirens in the background. Happens every time I do a reading. Whether I do one on myself nowadays or for other people or collective readings, it doesn't matter. Always a siren in the background. Even while I was cleansing, sirens in the background. It's crazy. Yeah. You know, you guys are miracle workers on the low, and you don't even realize it. Like, you have this potential to like manifest so many different things and alchemize, and they're just letting you know you can do it. And a lot of it has to do with your own lineage. We have divine lineage here. Okay, so yeah, I feel like I got into number 6 more than once in this reading too. Yeah, between 6s and 9s. For those of you who are Jimi Hendrix fans, he has a song called If 6 Were 9. Check that song out. That's my jam. Let's see. Let's pull some tarot. Just to get a little bit more. I like the fact that the star card is here. That's all about healing, right? Healing, restoration, hope. So that's a nice energy. I also saw the 9 of Cups too. So, and that's about wish fulfillment. So there's definitely, for a lot of y'all, there's some positive energy coming in, you know, and this is after, you know, this period of, you know, things not being so great and just trying to figure it all out, trying to figure out where do you go from here. And, you know, they're saying, oh, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Speaking for myself right at this exact moment. And one second. Today is actually my grandmother's, her 80, how many years was she up in? 85? I think she would have been 85. Today is my grandmother's 85 or 86th birthday today. And she was amazing. And when I'm done with this, I'm actually going to do a reading and channel her. But, you know, it's one of those kind of things where it's like, you know, they let us know all the time, like, if we're on the right path. And when I say they, I mean our spirit guides, our ancestors, whatever you believe in. They're always letting us know. So just pay attention to that. When you feel disconnected, get reconnected, because there's something that might be amiss. Being outdoors might be one of the things that you need to do. Maybe you're a person that, you know, or your peoples that, you know, are in your energy, you know, in terms of your ancestors and stuff like that, your spirit guides, you know, those who, you know, are no longer physically here on the earthly realm, you know, especially our ancestors or friends, things like that. Sorry. You know, I'm getting this essence of they always show themselves in some type of way. So just keep that in mind, okay? It's not meant to be like an ancestor reading, but they're showing up. And I feel like my grandmother, like, was starting to speak through me. So I'm definitely going to talk to her when I'm done with this. Guys, I didn't even, like, ask a question yet. So I did just see the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles show up. So what else does the collective need to know at this time? Let's get, what's like the current energy based off what we're seeing here so far. Yeah, there's this sense of releasing right now happening. Four Pentacles in the reverse here. So there's this sense of releasing something. I think one of the things I'm gonna just look to see in the deck, but I'm gonna just use my intuition here first. I think a lot of it has to do with that sense of releasing those old heartbreaks and disappointments that used to, you know, kind of keep you a little bit boggled down when it comes to putting yourself out there again. And I'm not talking about just romance in general, right? Having a hard time trusting people. We have Knight of Wands here on the bottom of the deck. And we have top of the deck, we have Nine of Cups. Yeah, it's like, you know, you guys, you know, you're trying to just be fulfilled within yourself and not rely on other people to help you with that sense of fulfillment, which is definitely understandable. For some of you, this might have even involved a marriage. Other people, it could have just been the sense of releasing some of your old traditions and belief systems that no longer serve you. Take that as it resonates. But nonetheless, I am definitely getting this sense of kind of like shedding away, you know, the things that, you know, have held you back and held you down for way too long. Tell us more. I just saw the devil try to come out. What has the collective energy released already? What have they released already? Thank you. It's saying you guys close this out, but I don't, like, look, the cards literally wouldn't make sense in this context. This is actually saying that you guys have welcomed this in. But we do have the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck, so that's about contemplation, intuition. That's what it is. So you guys have already started working on the process of, there we go. It might have, for some of you, it could have been a karmic lesson that you had to learn, some old fears even for some people, depending on the situation. Old fears, there go the burps. Fears and self-delusions for a lot of people. That might have been the thing that was holding you guys back when it comes to being in this type of energy, this sense of independence and, you know, being okay on your own. I'm getting kind of that type of energy. Tell us more. What does the collective maybe still need to work on or release? For advice, however way you want to word it. What else? What else? Thank you. They want you to still focus on your own sense of intrinsic happiness. See how that throat chakra is closing up. Nine of Cups is here. They want you to continue to work on your sense of intrinsic happiness. And what I mean by that is, and I feel what they mean by that as well. You see how my throat chakra is closing up? Now, granted, I'm a little under the weather, but the fact that it's like literally closing up. Sorry. Sorry. It's like something was trying to tell me, like, nope, shut up, stop speaking. It's giving me this energy of you guys, when it comes to what makes you happy, you guys might be having a hard time with actually like verbally expressing that sometimes, right? And they're like, you got to walk away from things and people, situations, so on and so forth. Five of swords here that make you feel like that, because you shouldn't feel like you can't speak your mind. You shouldn't feel like you can't speak your truth and allow your voice to, shine through. You know, your feelings to shine through. That's not healthy in any aspect of anything, whether it's relationships with, romance, friends, family, work, doesn't really matter. And this is something that might be causing you a lot of angst and anxiety with this Nine of Swords here. They're like, yeah, no, that has to go, because you have to be able to know what. Okay, I'm getting another message too. There probably are people in your life who make you feel like this, or situations in your life that make you feel like this sense of anxiety, right? And it's like, that those things are not good for you. You know it doesn't feel good. And it's like, okay, so what do you do about that? You need to learn how to walk away. Surrender, right? Um, because if you don't surrender, you're going to keep yourself stuck in this sense of mental confusion, anxiety. Just, it's not a, it's, I just heard icky feeling. It's an icky feeling. Nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody. For some of you, you guys might be over pouring into connections. This has been an energy that's been going on for a little bit now. Six of Pentacles. You know, you want that equal take within relationships, and that's the thing. Like, they're saying, welcome that type of stuff into your life, right? That I said earlier. One of the first things I said in this reading, within the first two cards pulled, I said a sense of receptivity, the sense of equal give and take, reciprocity, whatever you would like to use, all the same shit. But the problem is, a lot of you guys are not in situations or connections that allow that to happen, and that's where the problem starts to come in. All right, so tell us more. What's the basis of this? What's the basis? Tell us more. Thank you. Yeah, and this was in a challenging position just now. The Three of Wands. You guys have had a hard time distancing yourself from these situations, people, so on and so forth, that have been making you feel stuck. Because the thing with the Three of Wands is about foresight and planning and stuff, but it also could be about waiting for your ships to sail in, and stagnation, because especially in a challenge position. So it's like, there's people in your life that you might have, or situations in your life that you've been trying to distance yourself from, closing out those cycles, like I said earlier, right? The Wheel of Fortune is here now. Understanding that these situations and these people, who might have betrayed you, might have hurt you, literally. Ten of Swords is here, and that ending of those old cycles, right? We talked about that already. So it's like there's this ending of these old cycles that no longer serve you, that wheel turning in your favor. But the whole point is, you have to be willing to actually let that shit go and distance yourself from these situations, because there's these people who have hurt you, they've abandoned you, they've betrayed you, all these different things, or situations that have just been super unhealthy, and you're like, dude, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, whether it's because there's fear associated with it or whatever. The Moon here in the middle of the deck, like, if it's because it's fear-based shit where it's keeping you, from, progressing and moving forward, they're saying, hey, this is your sign that there's something that needs to be done about it. And they're letting you know, like, yes, this is scary. Yeah, this is not something that you necessarily wanted to do. But in order to move on into this next phase of your life, that's going to bring you this happiness and this abundance. And I'm like, looking at the table here, we got the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Like, literally, you guys are moving in the direction of legit independence and intrinsic happiness. But there's these situations and these people that need to be removed first, that you have to walk away from. or you're in the process of doing that, or you're in the process of healing. Everybody's situation is different, depends on where you are in your journey. Let's get one more from here. Sorry. Unfortunately, this reading didn't get as much, as many viewers that I was expecting or hoping for. So I'm gonna start getting ready to close out. Um, you know, it happens like that sometimes. It's okay. Let's see. We do have the Ace of Wands here as a likely outcome. My throat is itchy. Sorry. So we do have the Ace of Wands here, which is a great card to end that part of the reading with. It's giving me this essence of, you know, this passionate new beginning of something, whatever that is for you. Some of you might have creative projects that you're working on and ideas. It could be, you know, romance. And yes, the sex is about to be bomb. Or it could be, you know, it depends on your circumstances, like I said. For some of you, it could be a new job, you know, but either way, it's something that you're very passionate about. And this is also, some of you also might have fire in your chart. We also have the sun here on the bottom of the deck, getting Leo energy also. So I'm just getting this sense of, like, you know, people who are, again, working on that sense of intrinsic happiness. And yeah, for some of you, this could even involve marriage down the line. Take that as it resonates, right? This is not going to be for everybody. For those of you, if that part doesn't resonate, I'm also just getting this sense of really, like, after a period of challenging your value systems and things like that, now you have this new stuff coming in, these new thoughts, these new feelings, these new passions, and it's allowing you to look at things from a new set of eyes, right? Because literally that's what the sun could be about too. Usually people just attribute it to just happiness and stuff, but it's also about illumination. And with that here on the top of the deck, which is all about traditions and values, you know, it could also be about like a spiritual teacher, you know, things like that. So it's like, you know, it could be about marriage or higher levels of commitment, so on and so forth. I'm also getting this sense of, like I said, you know, maybe after a period of, you know, in your life, you know, looking at things from a certain, you know, standpoint for a very long time, maybe even stemming back from childhood, like looking at things from you know, a different standpoint, and realizing now, like, that stuff doesn't suit me anymore. Let me do something different with that. I'm getting that for some of you, you know, this is something you're very passionate about, and you know, being able to really take control of your life and say, okay, well, yeah, despite all the things I was taught in the past, I have to now kind of restructure and question it a bit. You guys are in this position now where it's like, okay, well, now I know where I'm going. I like that. There's the High Priestess. For some of you, take this as it resonates. Some of you might have, you know, spiritual gifts, and we did see a card or more than one card in the earlier part of this reading. I think it was like 2 or 3 cards that talked about gifts. For some of you, you might have spiritual gifts that, you know, kind of go against the grain when it comes to your religious background or something like that. And it's like, okay, you know, maybe you've had your gifts kind of like hush hush for a very long time, and now you're like, okay, nah, fuck that shit. I'm about to like actually put myself out there now. I like it. Let's see, is there anything else I want to pull from? Like I said, this reading didn't get as much it didn't get as much, like, whatchamacallit, as I was expecting, views, but it's fine. It happens. Looking at 2 different decks, I'm like, let's go with these. Being that I did see a lot of stuff about like spiritual gifts, I'm gonna pull from here. And it goes my throat, so I think that's confirmation that I need to read from here. So let's read from here. What else? Before we close out the reading, There are bricks down. It's almost that time for me too, though. Ah, another card about gifts. Look at that. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to, guys. Lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. So these gifts and stuff that have been passed down to you, this knowledge that's been passed down to you, this is stuff that you already have within you because it comes from past lifetimes, if you believe in that kind of thing. And if you believe in that kind of thing, they're saying, now granted, this card technically was in the reverse. They're saying you're in the process of accessing those and those gifts, right? And we saw that energy of, you guys feeling a little bit stuck here, right? They're saying, oh, no doubt, this is stuff that you're supposed to, know and feel. Ooh, why do I have this? I don't know if this is a message for somebody, but I don't know if some of you guys, that's very, very particular and specific, please take it as it resonates, but just suddenly I just got like this pain right here in my forearm, and it went like down to my fingers. I don't know if any of you guys have been having like nerve pain in your arm and or wrist and fingers, like maybe carpal tunnel type stuff. But that was weird because I don't have that problem, so that was kind of strange that came out of nowhere. Excuse me. So we have 3 cards that came out together. You got the love, Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So you guys might really need to work on setting healthy boundaries with people, which we did see that energy earlier. It came out along with called Soul. Another card of gifts. Now this is what 4 cards about gifts. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. It's in the reverse because you guys are choosing at this point to ignore the call. They're saying, look, we've been giving you specific guidance and instructions at this point, and you guys are just not listening. And it could be because of codependency or, having a hard time setting boundaries with some of these people who are holding you back, but you have to, they're telling you, got to move on. Because then we have surrender to sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Now that came out with the all those cards came out together. This was in the reverse technically. Remember I was talking about earlier how that heart chakra might need a little bit of work still. Part of the reason why you might be feeling a little bit stuck is because that heart chakra is still in need of some repair. And part of that has to do with the fact that you guys overextend, which makes it hard for you to start to receive love at this point in your life because you close yourself off. Does that make sense? It makes sense in the sense of like looking at the big picture, but like, I'm asking like, does it make sense? Like, is this your situation? Let's get maybe 2 more. We have Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. It's time to dive deeper into how you've been feeling, deeper into your emotions. Allow yourself to feel how you really feel. And then share that experience. Because the thing is, like, when you go through a lot of stuff, it's hard, right, to share our experiences with people and, be transparent and, forthcoming about that stuff. But they're saying, confirmation. They're saying by saying what you need to say. I just heard John Mayer. He's actually from Connecticut, from Fairfield, Connecticut. And he also went to school in Bridgeport. I think he was born in Bridgeport, but went to school in Fairfield. Fairfield, I could walk to Fairfield 5 minutes away from my house. But yes, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he was born in Bridgeport, raised in Fairfield. If you guys like John Mayer. But let's get one more from this deck. Thank you. All right, so we have empathic. There we go. Empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So I'm getting this essence of, you guys have a tendency to hold on to the emotions and things of other people. That's why they're saying set healthy boundaries. right? Because you're an empath, and I think I said something about being an empath earlier, if I'm not mistaken. They're like basically saying, it's time to kind of release yourself from that a bit, and not from being an empath, but freeing yourself from the the burdens of other people. Because the problem with that is you don't know when that's your shit versus somebody else's shit. So they're basically just saying, be very cognizant of that and aware. Um, Maybe cleanse your space, cleanse yourself, set healthy boundaries when you know that those are needed. Bottom of the deck, we have breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Um, Let me see if I get a message from that. Sorry. I'm getting kind of like, when people say, thy will be thine. Like, I'm just kind of getting this essence and whatnot of, understanding that, whatever, your higher power intends for you to happen, it will come together. Sometimes we can't question things too much. We have to just kind of allow things to be. And, when we allow things to just kind of happen exactly the way that it's meant to happen, that's when we start to see things happening the way that we want them to happen. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure it does. And that's what we would call surrendering, right? Or law of attraction, those kind of things. Kind of all in the same, realm of things. We have all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. That sense of inner knowledge, remember we saw that high priestess earlier, that sense of inner knowledge that you guys have. You guys are being guided to do all of this. It's just a matter of listening to it. I feel like a lot of us, and I'm gonna say us because I have some of this stuff going on even in my life right now. The sense of confusion, a little bit of like, well, what do I do with this information? How do I move about it? Am I going on the right path? Sometimes our fears and things like that, our anxieties get the best of us, and then that's what kind of holds us back, or leaving people and things behind. Sometimes we have to just allow it to happen the way it's meant to. And there we go. Karmic, thank you, Spirit. You guys are funny for this one. Karmic relationships, Orion, energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. So there's that inner conflict that is coming through when it comes to the sense of being able to, I saw 5225 when I looked up, these karmic relationships and ties that we're releasing ourselves from that are kind of they're kind of you know making it difficult, right, for us to be able to move on, do the things we're trying to do. And it makes a lot of sense, right? It's just that sense of, releasing those ties to things that no longer are serving us. Like I said, whether it's our own thought patterns and behaviors, or relationships, whether it's romantic, family, friends, work, so many different things, right? Everybody's situation will be different. I'm going to post some last messages. These are some sacred messages. I was talking about that throat chakra earlier, guys. Some of y'all might need to work on the throat chakra. Might be a little closed off. So yes. Let's get some last messages to close out the reading. For those of you who did not get a chance to watch it from the beginning, you can always watch it from the beginning if you would like when I post it, which will be in a few minutes. Otherwise, catch me the next time, because this was definitely a nice reading. Unfortunately, there was not a lot of people here, but I think the message itself was definitely a great one, to really work on yourself and know what it is that you need to do to kind of continue to work on your path. So we do have the fulfillment. Sorry. We have fulfillment here. Sorry. Box is flying. Fulfillment here on the bottom of the deck. So that goes back to this card that we saw earlier, that Nine of Pentacles, that sense of fulfillment, of feeling like, yeah, I got this shit. This is very particular for somebody who might end up watching, but I'm also getting that some of you might live in Georgia or are thinking about moving to Georgia. If that's the case, I think that's confirmation that if that was a fear of yours, that it's time to actually make way and move down there. Take that as it resonates. That's not going to be for everybody, but that's definitely a particular message for someone who ends up watching. Tell us more. Let's get maybe 4 messages from here. Thank you. These all came out together. We have enlightenment, and I talked about that sense of feeling enlightened earlier, along with solitude, along with illumination. Yeah, I think they're saying, like, take some time to yourself to just kind of, get grounded, right? Because we did see that energy earlier. Sorry. That sense of getting grounded and, taking the time to yourself to be able to, work on meditation and, things of that nature. Anything that works for you. I just heard Pilates. That's not for everybody. But for those of you who could physically handle Pilates is pretty challenging. I used to do it back in the day. You wouldn't be able to tell by looking at me now, but I used to do Pilates. Yoga, I'm getting that as well. Also just like time outdoors, saw that earlier too. Reading, I'm getting also audiobooks. So I'm getting a lot of different messages. So please take that as it resonates. But there's something that there's messages or something that you're meant to receive, and it's going to come in the form of like meditation, deep thinking, journaling, reading, ebooks, audiobooks, things of that nature is what I'm kind of getting. So just pay attention to that. Let's get maybe 3 more from here before we close out. Power. Understand that you have the power. I've got the power. Couldn't do the voice the way I normally would because my voice is all fucked up right now. Yeah, you guys have the power to do a lot of things, to manifest a lot of things, to just happen to look on the bottom of the deck, success, right? You have the power to manifest the success that you want. Just have to really hone in on your power and transmute the energy. Let's get 2 more. Thank you. Blessings are coming in, and sometimes they might feel like they're coming in way slower than we want. I can resonate with that. But the whole point is, maybe this part of this purpose of what you're going through right now is to practice patience, right? Temper yourself. Some of you might have Sagittarius in your chart. I'm also getting some of you might have Leo in your chart. Take that as it resonates, though, as it's a separate message. So it's like, just understanding that things don't always happen when we want them to. They happen where they're meant to. So just know that as sucky as that might be sometimes, we want things to happen when we want them to. Sometimes we have to understand that, everything's gonna happen and manifest exactly the way it's meant to, unfold the way it's meant to. Why? Because it's a part of our journey. We have voyage here. It's a part of the journey. And anytime I see this card, I say it. Anybody who's been watching my channel for a bit, I say it every time I pull this card out. When you see like that big, I think that's an orca whale, but I could be wrong. You see that big whale there, and then you see the little baby one underneath it, and it's like they're carrying that baby, right? It's almost like your ancestors are letting you know, like, look, I'm guiding you every step of the way. Like, you're not doing this by yourself. You might feel a little bit alone, but you're not doing this by yourself. Like, between us, meaning the ancestors, between your higher power, God, whatever you believe in, so on and so forth. Like, they're all there supporting you along the way. And it, like I said, it doesn't always feel like that. I know, trust me. But they're saying trust the process, trust in them, trust in yourself, right? What else we got? Let's get one on the top. Thank you. Change. Yeah, change is gonna come. But I'm also getting, to see change, you have to be the change, right? Because the thing is, when we're afraid to go on our voyage, our journey, right? We feel a little bit powerless sometimes. They're letting us know that we have to change our mindset and our circumstances in order to see the changes that we want to see. Middle of the deck, we have flexibility. Yeah, you have to be adaptable and flexible, right? So there's all these different things that we're learning, we're seeing, we're experiencing. And the thing is, it fucking sucks sometimes when we don't feel like we're getting the guidance that we need, or we don't know where we're going, whatever. And they're basically just saying it's all coming together exactly the way it's meant to. It's just a matter of patience. So with all that said, I hope that those of you who did get to stick around for the whole reading, or for the part of the reading, I hope that you guys got something out of this. I hope it resonated. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the beautiful weather, because like I said, I might even take a quick little stroll around my area, before it gets too dark and cold, just to get some air. But yeah, you're gonna see a little bit more of me. I think I might start doing readings outside, like when the weather starts to really break. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, thank you for those of you who have supported. If you did resonate, please like, share, and subscribe. Most important is the likes and subscribes for me. But yeah, I'll be checking in again probably on Thursday to do a what's the tea reading. So until next time, I love you guys, and bye.